California is going too far. Legislators have submitted 10 bad bills. And actually, this came to my, somebody sent it to us, actually, one of our subscribers and fans that I've met personally at the Two Road Show. And this was first came to my attention from Amrita. Okay, so California legislators proposed new slate of COVID-19 vaccine laws. This was first, we saw this from Elizabeth Aguilera from Cal Matters. Governor Gavin Newsom is easing mask restrictions and declaring that the pandemic is moving into a less critical phase, yet an aggressive slate of COVID-19 related bills to mandate vaccines for children and workers, to allow 12 to 17-year-olds to get the vaccine without parental consent, and more remain in play under the Capitol dome. You know, I just want to say that we have to remind everybody that, and check this out because I'm probably wrong, but your brain isn't fully developed until 25. And so when we're allowing children 12 and 17 to make some decisions for themselves, I think we also should keep in mind about our brain's development. Here we go. Taken together, the adoption of these bills would make California an outlier among states and give it the country's strictest COVID-19 regulations. Other states are considering various mandates and legislation related to COVID-19, but none appear to have coordination of this effort, steered by some of the most powerful legislators in Sacramento. These bills will attempt to bring cohesion, consistency, and clarity to our overall approach and response to the pandemic, said Democratic Senator Josh Newman of Fullerton, a member of the group. Oh, I'm so glad it's going to be cohesion, consistency, and clarity. Oh, it sounds good to me. Critics said the bills infringe, what are these critics, on the health privacy of children, interfere with how doctors work, impose a burden on businesses and workers, and rely on vaccines that do not, in many cases, prevent the transmission of COVID-19, according to Cal Matters. With these types of regulations, it doesn't matter who you are. If you work or have children in California, you will be affected by these mandates, said Christina Hildebrand, head of A Voice of Choice. A group focused on informed consent that has fought to keep personal belief exemptions for required vaccines since 2015. This is going on while the rest of the world is getting rid of mandates and COVID requirements, and the governor is talking about his smarter plan and that we are moving into an endemic phase. Strict COVID vaccine bills could face an uphill battle. Really? So says Emily Hoven, April 7th, 2022 from Cal Matters. California nixes bills to require COVID vaccines in schools. This is according to Mason Basada on Forbes on April 14th, 2022. And this is what we see right now has happened. So they started out with 10 of these bills. California is going too far. Legislators have submitted 10 bad bills. Each of the bills build on each other to create a state where you will not be able to learn, work, play, or live without showing proof of vaccination. All right. So SB 866 is still alive. SB 1419 still alive. 1464, that was pulled. 1993, that was shelved. SB 1479, still living. 1390 was pulled. 1184 was amended. AB 1797 is continuing. Pulled was 871, and AB 298 still exists. Senator Richard Pan, Democrat from Sacramento, said he retracted the bill before it was put to a vote because children will have insufficient access to COVID-19 vaccines, stating in a release that a statewide vaccine requirement for an age group is not the immediate priority until access improves. And we know what else is not an immediate priority: healthcare for Americans. Actual healthcare for Americans. Vision, dental, mental healthcare for Americans. We can't afford it, but we just spent how many billions of dollars being sent to Ukraine and the military-industrial complex? But in the meantime, we don't have time for our own people. Now, in initial statement, Senator Richard Pan said this virus isn't going away, so it's not just about temporary measures, but we need ongoing measures to keep this virus under control. But he pulled SB 1464 law, and this was a public health order. This bill would have required law enforcement officials to enforce public health orders. Huh? So nothing nefarious there. They pulled SB 871. The bill would remove the personal belief exemption, which allows parents to opt out of vaccines for their child. They pulled this one, authorizing the medical board to inspect a doctor's office and records without a patient's consent. Nice pull, thank God. They shelved the employment vaccine mandate. And what we have here is defeat the bills. If you're in California and you're concerned about these bills, there's a call for action and updates, and it says you can text defeat the bills, and you can actually contact. It's at 888-298-PERK, 888-298-PERK. Anya, all these bills that you see, what are your thoughts about these bills? You know, in essence, what we're seeing as an evolution of our response to the pandemic.
Yeah, Steph. Well, first of all, I want to say that there have been significant wins, which you noted there. And that's a direct result of the Defeat the Mandates rally that you and I attended. Max and Jimmy both spoke at that rally. We had, I think it was on April 9th or 10th, and it was huge. I mean, you were there with me. We saw the thousands of people who'd gathered. It was the biggest crowd I'd seen for any protest in a long time. And when we were there, I was confused because I didn't actually understand. I didn't expect such large crowds, to be honest. And when I found out about the laws, the bills that were on the books in California, then it clicked for me. Oh, these were actually, a lot of them were parents that had come from around the country, the state, especially California, in order to protest these laws that were going to be put in place that would really be affecting their children. And I'm confused now because I think they just authorized the Pfizer vaccine for 5 to 12-year-olds nationally in the United States. And that's just bizarre because I don't know about you guys in California, but here in DC and everywhere else I look in the country, no one's really talking about COVID as a health emergency right now. And it certainly never was that much of an emergency for children. So why are they authorizing this vaccine now? Why are they still pushing these bills through California? I would like to know the donors to your state senator there, Richard, or Representative, or Pan. I'm not sure who this. Yeah, right. Pan. I would be willing to bet he's got some big pharma donors.
Oh, I think that's something for us to look into. I think you're right about that. Let's see what his donor class is like. I think that's such a great way to look at it. And I have to, I don't have children. I just, I was in the public educational system for over 20 years and they sucked the goodwill out of me and now I'm barren, not a big deal. But you are a parent and, I think, when I see something like this, that seems to be overstepping. Well, it comes back to my body, my choice. How about my children? Yeah. So it's, I wonder how the Democrats in California can justify this kind of potential serious legislation in the future that affect families and as well as affect small businesses, and they were even highlighting, one of them was proposing to go into doctors' offices and investigating that, which seems completely overwhelming. So I'm not sure, doesn't seem like these bills are going away anytime soon. I didn't get the clip today, but we'll play it next week. There's a conversation with Anderson Cooper and Bill Gates. And Bill Gates is really suggesting that we get our boosters and our vaccines, maybe every 6 months.
Yes.
Fun.
Even though he just got COVID after all of that boosting.
Yes. But, he's still a proponent of it. But I'm not sure. Is he a doctor or a scientist?
He has one of those honorary degrees, I'm sure. So, those are the best.
Yeah, the honorary degree given to this guy who never graduated high school. I guess it doesn't matter. when you're
Yeah, we just bestowed this authority upon him.
Yes. And I can't get over it. Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll show that clip next week.
Hey, I'm on tour. Come see me in Irvine, California, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, Salt Lake City, Washington. Washington? You mean Washington State?
Yes.
Yes. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all those tickets.